Year was good. Top Slug, Sofa King. Another video. Yeah. Uh, just chilling. Just chilling right now. Got the all white today. Had to switch the uniform up. But I'm about to hop in the shower actually, so may switch back. But yeah. Today, and I know you hear the washing machine behind me, so this will be a quick video. Um, Today, just want to put some content out. I actually have been recording. I just haven't been uploading just because I want to do some editing. I'm still working on that. I got a little intro together. I got a few things kind of in process. Trying to come up with some good topics so I can actually like put a show together and an actual like a real thing other than these little rants. But we're gonna do what we can for now. Still, just to keep putting stuff out there, just to keep it fresh. So hopefully, I got some more coming. But this one, I just want to kind of keep it raw and off the cuff, I guess. Just had an interesting couple days, week or so. Actually, it's been very good and very, disappointing at the same time. Um, in good ways and in some bad ways as well. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just wanted to speak on it just to, kind of release some of that energy and, get some shit off my chest. So I guess this will be like a little mental health broadcast. And, hopefully you can hear me okay with the washing machine. I know that shit is kind of in my ear, so I might not even upload this. Who knows? But fuck it. We're just gonna put it together now because I was in the spirit of putting in that work. But yeah, so I don't know, man. Like I said, I had an interesting couple days. I actually went to a friend's wedding, one of my best friends, one of my childhood friends, basically family, my cousin, as we call each other. And it was definitely a beautiful scene. I was glad to see him and his wife and all their family and friends celebrate their union and black love. And they're both West Indian too. So that's a beautiful thing to see that type of love, manifest and culminate in a union like this. And it was beautiful. I mean, I know he told me he spent a good amount of money. So shout out to him for holding it down for his wife. But you know, uh, the energy was the biggest thing. I mean, the energy in the building, the love in the building, the, you know, I don't know the word for it, but just the vibes, right? Like the generic shit. The vibes in the building were, on a very very high level, and it was enjoyable, man. I love being there. It's been a while since I've been back to New York for a positive reason, at least, and to get to kind of see the city, you know, again, even though it had just stormed. I mean, it was crazy on some of the places I went, but just to see the city and kind of get out, be amongst people, be amongst good energy, loving energy. It was something that was very much missed. I can say that for sure. And I definitely was able to meet some new people, and make some connections, and make some connections that'll hopefully benefit me with some of these endeavors as well. So I felt productive. The biggest thing was being there for my dude, my boy, and that's my nigga, and I'm glad to see like him take that next step. He's one of the guys that of all my friends, right? Like for him to have a wife, what I was telling people is that like she's got to be the one, right? Because he ain't really in no rush, right? But she got him, she caught him, and they're man and wife now. So that's a beautiful thing, and she's a lovely bride as well. Much love to both of them if they ever see this video. Um, Much love and much respect and blessings. As somebody who's kind of been through that myself, it's always beautiful, right? And it's always good to be a part of it. But I know for the people that are actually getting married and involved, it can be stressful, and that day is always a relief. And so the wedding itself definitely was a beautiful scene, and they put on a show, and they definitely held it down, and it was a special moment to be a part of. I wasn't in the wedding, but I was just there. You know what I mean? Very close to, the bride. So I mean, the bride and groom, and able to kind of get behind the scenes a little bit. So it was cool, man. It was cool, and they both looked beautiful, looked amazing, and off of that, I was in a very good mood. I was in very good spirits, and I was able to spend some time back at home, see some family, see some people I haven't seen in years. You know what I mean? And it felt good. It felt good. Like I miss New York so much. I can't live there. I can't fuck with the rats and roaches, and shit's way too expensive if you want to live downtown or have anything nice. So right now that's a level, maybe a goal eventually I want to attain in the future, but right now I'm good. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be good to visit, and it felt good just because it's only about 3-4 hours away. I know, just kind of busy with work and fatherhood and marriage and all type of things. You get caught up like in the day to day, and like for me, I wasn't able to kind of go as much as I wanted to. But now, just going up there, just kind of making that drive back and forth, and just kind of doing it over a weekend, it's something that I can probably get more accustomed to doing on a regular. I want to kind of make it maybe like a monthly thing, because I don't want to ever be too far from the home base. So it feels like for years like I was kind of disconnected, and finally being able to like spend some time and get back up there for a reason that wasn't like a funeral or something ultimately negative to an extent. It just felt good, and so it's something I want to do again. But the problem with that is with this whole vaccine situation, I don't know how that's gonna work, right? Like if I go up there, I got to do the underground shit. I was able to hit a few like after hours type spots, but we tried to go out and you couldn't. I mean, unless you had the vaccine card, which some of my guys are vaccinated, right? Like, but myself personally, I am not. So being that I live down here where it's not as required, it wasn't even a thought in my mind to think about that from the personal level. But now, if I want to do that, if I want to go to New York, um, I may have to reconsider. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And I'm not really in a rush. If I can just go up there and just kick it, you know what I mean, and spend some time, get a hotel room, and just rock out, you know what I mean. See the people I haven't seen, spend some time, be around some new energy. Um, that'll be good in itself. So uh, I'm not really in a rush to get the shot, but I mean, shit is getting crazy out here, so you never know. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna just be difficult to a point that it detriments my, personal life or my money. So that was that, but that was a good way to kind of end the last week, start off the new week. Like I said in a different video, if I didn't upload that, which I probably didn't, I started a new job. So a few steps in my ultimate kind of goal to ascend to the next level are being completed. I started a new job where I do have the potential to make a solid amount of money, more than I was before for sure. Better environment, it seems like, and obviously it's still a sales job. It's still like a commission-based position. So I'm gonna have to grind, right? But like I was gonna have to do that regardless of what I did. So rather than being a desk or an office or whatever, um, I'll do this new position and just make the most of it, right? Like, I'll be at a desk and I'll probably be in somewhat of an office, but I'll get to move around, right? And hopefully I get to move around, meet some new people, make some more connections, and most importantly, make the type of money that I want to make. I should be able to kind of hit 6 figures with it. I don't know, because I'm just starting it. It's something that's somewhat new, new place and everything like that. But I do have the potential to make 10-12,000 a month. So really, what it's going to take to do that consistently is going to be the question. And if I'm going to really want to put so much effort in if it takes any additional effort outside of my 50, 60 hours a week, which I'm sure it will to an extent, but I have to find a way to make it work for me, right? Not against what I'm doing. So just like everything we're doing with the whole Slug Nation brand and ideology and, whatever we're trying to build here, that's part of it. So I get to do it in real time, I guess, and I get to do it like in a way that at least right now seems comfortable enough, and seems like a better situation than I was in before, And yeah, I was on that unemployment wave, so unfortunately it's sad to see that come to an end, but I was always pretty confident I'd be able to find employment soon after. I mean, I have a good amount of skill that's somewhat sought after. Hold on 1 second. Let this catch up.
And read about how one in
Watching
three
my
women
man Kevin
admit
Samuels
using men for a meal.
talk his
They
shit,
had
man.
no
Like shout
intention
out to the Godfather
of
for
getting
sure.
with a guy.
But let me put these headphones in. Let me just mute it for now.
Why?
I don't want to get behind, but yeah. So I mean, that is another part of my week and kind of my recent events. Starting this new job, it's definitely a blessing. I mean, I never want to be without income on some level, right? And even the unemployment. I mean, it wasn't what I was used to getting, but obviously it kind of paid the bills to an extent. And I know a lot of people were upset and they were happy to see it end, but I mean, you niggas gotta stop hating, man. Like for me, I think that the whole unemployment wave, PPP, all that stuff kind of goes in one. If you were, finessing a bit, um, it unfortunately, there are people taking advantage. Of course, people taking advantage of the system. People taking advantage of, others that have to do, what they have to do on a daily basis. But for me, I know in the situation I was in, it was definitely a blessing to be able to not have to go to work. Some of the things I was dealing with, like mentally and personally, within my family and within just like a lot of different things I was going through. It was a chore. You know what I mean? It was definitely a chore every day to get up and go to work and kind of do something I didn't have a passion in and I didn't kind of have love in. And at the time for me, being that I am, in a sales commission based job, like there wasn't any real money in it. Like I didn't lose a whole lot going towards unemployment. So it's kind of like the best decision, or it was the best decision for me at the time for sure. I mean, I was dealing with some physical things, some health issues, and I unfortunately things didn't work out with my employer, and just because of the hours, I was laid off. But yeah, it was good to be able to have that option, to kind of stay at home and still have something coming in. And obviously, you still had the opportunity to work on the side, off the books, or whatever it may be. But just to have that time to kind of mentally focus, especially throughout the pandemic, I know for me it meant a lot, and it helped a lot, and it helped me kind of be in a better place now to kind of do more and kind of get back to the regularly scheduled programming. And unfortunately, I have to do that for a little while. I can't live that NWA life yet. That never working again. Not yet, but we're gonna keep building, and we're gonna use this as a platform to kind of get where we want to be. So, shout out to all my unemployment babies. Shout out to all my finessers. It's over now. You know what I mean? I hope you guys are doing something, or you can get some bread coming in and sustain yourself and your family. I know for me, it was important that I kind of, as soon as this shit was over, I kind of got back to it. And fortunately, I was able to do that, and it's working out so far. But the main thing is for me to kind of keep that balance. So we'll see how it goes. We'll keep working on it. We'll keep coming up with some sort of system. I may just try to do one of these little bullshit videos every day, every night when I come back, and keep trying to enhance things. I'll buy that mic maybe and tomorrow if I get some time. Want to go see my kids and do some stuff with them, spend some quality time. So hopefully I can do that over the weekend. And I know I still have a lot to do, right? I still have a lot, even though I was able to kind of start with the YouTube thing over the past month or so. Um, Improve maybe slightly with the YouTube and the production and just how I do things and my knowledge, I guess. Slightly. Um, I was able to improve. I was able to learn a lot as far as editing and kind of doing things to keep myself motivated. So I really feel good about it. And I plan and I should be in the spirit to kind of keep doing more and more. But obviously, I got to execute. So I'll focus on that when it happens. But I feel good about it. So those are two things that I wanted to happen. That happened. Also, getting back into the job force and getting back in the field. Um, I didn't want that to happen, but it was unfortunately a short term goal that I was able to accomplish as well. Now I have to see about trying to maybe. I said I was, so I guess I got to kind of follow through. Getting that part time job, right? Like there'll be something that I have to do my fourth or fifth step beforehand just to kind of be able to be settled, which is find a new place to live. But and I have to do that in the next week or two. But outside of that, the next thing after that will be kind of filling in my time with productivity, right? And hopefully I can find something part time that's easy, that's in at least an environment that I can kind of use to kind of benefit and further everything I'm doing here, and won't take away too much from my children, and at least maybe in the time when I don't have anything better to do, I can make some more money to kind of keep pushing up to that goal. But I'm curious to even know what that could be right now. And I don't really plan on just taking anything. So, I'm just going to keep pushing myself. I'm going to challenge myself, but we'll see. When I catch one, I'll update you. I'll let you know what it is. I'm sure it'll be like some retail or some bullshit. Hopefully, something fun, something where I can kind of be myself. Maybe something where I can use to, make some content. Um, and yeah, man, like outside of that, all those things are pretty positive, right? And I do have some things ahead of me that I got to take care of, but like I feel good about it, and I think that a washing machine might sound crazy. I'm gonna have to listen to this, but I think that I'm in a good place, right? I think I'm in a good place, kind of like mentally, and as far as like feeling good about some accomplishments, or some short term goals being accomplished. Um, and I got to just build from that, right? And I can't focus too much on the things I don't control, and just kind of worry about myself and my kids. So one thing I'll say is I feel like over the past week I already am kind of getting in a space where I feel like I'm not able to give to them what I want to. Now I was out of town, you know, and even that, like they've gone back to school now. So during the week it's kind of like can't really do much, but I have to find like some time where I can just pop in after school, and they're still kind of even an hour from where I work, but I find a way to make it work, and I find a way to kind of give them what I need to. But I feel like right now I haven't been able to, and I'm kind of disappointed. Now, unfortunately, I feel like I'm doing it, just myself, just trying to make the situation work, not taking care of them, but just making the situation work the best I can for these changes. I guess only I can control that, right? So it doesn't really matter what anybody else is doing and not doing. But it's definitely something where I want to improve that. I don't want to like have any slippage. And even what I've kind of, even with me saying that, I know that's me just kind of being hard on myself, and like me just really thinking about them. And even right now in this moment, missing them a lot. But that's how I need to push myself, and that's how I need to hold myself to a standard. So I don't like make excuses for it. I'll just embrace it and just say I need to do better. I don't think I'll be able to go see them tomorrow because I do have to continue to look for a place. Now that is primarily the reason, looking for a place, going out of town, starting a new job. Obviously, not being able to come home to them. I mean, how else would it work? But this is something that I knew coming into this week, so I'm not even gonna like use that to kind of soften the blow. I just gotta find a way to make sure I give them some quality time. Like I saw them, but I was coming back from New York. I was dead tired, right? Like I had just, and I mean, this is maybe a story for another situation, but like I had just got the I just got the kind of information that I needed to, kind of be with them, kind of, for something to happen for other people, right? And, I was with it and I did my best to kind of do that, which, um, it took me to, kind of cut what I was doing short, and come straight back after like going out, Friday night, right? Like I stayed out till 5 a.m. and I just dipped, right? I just rolled back, half sleep, falling asleep. Um, it was probably a mistake, a poor choice, but fortunately, with the Lord's grace, I made it. You know what I mean? And then, I made it in decent time. That everything kind of went how it was supposed to. I imagine, but even in kind of doing that, I don't want to make it seem like I was doing somebody a favor because me seeing my kids, I can never really look at it like that. But like the way that it happened, the short notice to an extent, or the way that I said, hey, I may be coming back on Saturday. I'll try to see them, blah blah blah, and for it to be like, all right, well, um, you said you was coming back, so I just made these plans, right? Whatever, whatever. And it's like, well, no, yeah, I did say that, but I didn't, whatever. It don't matter. I did mention that. So, all right, if that's what happened, that's what happened. But, like, I do have to kind of, do the extra to make that happen. And, like, sometimes it just sucks, like, to feel like, you can, you know, be willing to kind of do things and like it just will not be appreciated. And it's like I'll never sit here and like I'll never tell the person like, yo, I had to do this and I had to, and maybe they'll see this video, who cares. But like, and that's no disrespect, but it's just honesty, right? But I would never sit there and do that, right? And so it feels like without doing that, it's just kind of unappreciated, or it's just kind of seem like, oh well, you said that. And then even the whole like you said, it's like when I go back and look at what I said, it wasn't, like there could have been a lot better communication beforehand, that it didn't even need to come to that, and it wouldn't have came to that because I would have just, obviously I was willing to accommodate, and it's just treated like, you know, I mean, I can't really get into that yet, but like, it's just treated a certain way, and it's just disappointing, and like, off of that, there was a day that kind of, went different than I expected. Not expected because I didn't expect anything, honestly, but just not even. I guess the best way to say it is that it could have been much better, and it just wasn't. And there could have been much better energy around certain events and certain things, and it just wasn't, right. And it's like I can't even say like you're disappointed. It's like you're kind of, I don't know what the word for being not surprised is, but it's like even when you put your best effort out or you put a certain intention or positivity out there, you got to be willing to accept like, you know, shit happen in a way that shit happens, right? And I guess for me, it's just kind of disappointing sometimes that like, at least in my mind, right? Like I can feel like I can want better and I can do better and I can be above situations and it still be that situation. Right? I can put a certain level of energy into the situation, and it still only will be up to a certain peak, right? To where it's like, well, damn, if I wasn't even trying to go the extra mile, how left would this shit go? And it's almost sometimes like that you may be the only one responsible for like making sure things don't go a certain way or it doesn't get worse. So maybe sometimes that's just the win, right? Maybe sometimes that's uh, you know the growth, the improvement that you got to take. And while you may want it to be so much better, sometimes it just not being as bad as it could be means a lot as well. You know, um, and I know I'm not really trying to say too much, but hopefully that makes sense. Uh, you know, the situations I can't really elaborate on. I don't really, out of respect, right? Like it's not me, not wanting to be honest or authentic, but out of respect for everybody, like I just wouldn't do that unless there was a better motivation behind it. Let's say, right? Like I ain't getting paid, so um, I don't want to get too personal, but like it's just one of those things where it's like I guess with all the other things that happen, like the wedding, this thing, and then even some of the things in the past that have happened, to be able to be in a space where it's a positive space, like it's genuinely a positive space, and even got good things happening for you, and you want to put out the best energy you can, so it's not like fake or going through the motions, and then you still you still get the same shit, and it's like sometimes it can bring back all those same like feelings, but like I've kind of learned from watching others' mistakes in a way, that you can't look at shit like that. Like it's not the same thing. Everything is new. Even though they say there's nothing new under the sun, and that's true. Situations grow and evolve, right? And so as you deal with similar emotions and similar feelings in a situation, you have to look at things in context and in real time, right? To kind of see how am I making the same mistakes, versus just looking at the whole situation as being the same, like I'm just like a unwilling participant, or I don't have any agency, which is rarely true, And for me, I know, you know, I know for me, that's one thing I can say. Like I've definitely, I've grown a lot. I've definitely grown a lot in that way because even with what happened over the weekend per se, um, I can feel a moment where like I just wanted to kind of like express certain things that probably just didn't need to be expressed, right? And especially with all the different positivity, that was going on, it would have just put a damper on the situation. And even though for me, it would have just been expressing myself in that situation, it would have been carried on, I'm sure, like, oh, as a much more drastic thing, and like, that's nobody's fault because people interpret life and they interpret situations how they do, and it's for all of us to kind of narrate and define our own journeys in lives, but I guess it's good. I guess it's good that I can at least take that, right? Like even though I wanted to have just a more positive experience, the fact that I have been able to recognize and really kind of apply certain things, I have to take that as a win, right? Like, I learned in life, sometimes you have to just, what I mean? You have to take the win, and sometimes you got to take the loss. And a lot of times, taking a loss, there is a win in there if you take it willingly or you take it understanding, or and not even a loss per se. You let a situation play out in a way that's not really favorable to you, and you understand what's behind it, and you understand how to then you know build off of that, because instead of fighting that little mini war, um, I mean that little battle, right? You want to kind of ultimately win the war of life, right? And sometimes that takes sacrifice, and sometimes that takes you know, being in situations that you don't necessarily fully control and just maneuvering through the best you can. You know, I mean, that's really what it boils down to. And I think that with a way to kind of get to that point that you don't kind of keep fighting is that you sometimes you just have to understand that maybe like in certain ways, from at least your perspective or your point of view, you may just be better than people, right? And that's not to be arrogant or to be like um, soapboxy. That's more just to say like the way I define character, the way I define certain things, the way I define gratitude or honesty or loyalty and all these different things. It may just be different from a different another person, and it's your definition of something can't change mine. So my definition of it may be what it is, and for my definition, I may just be better than you at it, or I may have more of it than you. And honestly, I have to take that for what it is. You can't kind of, you know, expect everybody to be you, right? And why you can look at that from a standpoint of like, why can't people just be like this? Sometimes it's easier and it's better to just look at it. Hey, you know what? I am, a special person. Maybe I am a bigger person. Maybe I am more empathetic. Maybe I am more understanding. Maybe I am more willing to try. Maybe I do have more morals or character in a certain situation. And that's not to diminish somebody else's, but that's just to be realistic about where things stand, and I wouldn't say like that's the end all be all, because a person may not even be looking at things from the perspective that you are. So you have to understand that as well. But the more you understand that and you accept that in a way where you can maybe convey that respectfully, um, you know, I mean, I guess the better off you'll be. And if that doesn't work, then I mean, fuck it. Like, it's not like yelling would work. You know what I mean? It's not like being upset or like looking at somebody, making somebody feel like fuck they're a fucked up person. Even if it's true, right? Like that's not gonna work, right? That's just gonna give them something to kind of rebel against. So um, you just got to be smart. You got to be strategic with how you kind of approach things in your own mind. You know what I mean? So that you can get the maximum benefit. And sometimes that's what it is. It's as simple as that, right? Like, people around me can be doing a lot of like snake shit, right? And snake shit is snake shit to an extent. But like at the same time, there's snakes in the world. You know what I mean? Snakes exist. It's a thing, right? We have a name for it. We have a word for it. And I'm not saying that that's my situation, but I'm just saying from a broader perspective, right? Like the more you understand that, the more you can then prepare and protect yourself from it. And you're gonna learn some things in the harder way, but all you can do is grow from it. And I feel like that's at least where I'm at mentally. That's my focus and that's my intention. And a big thing for me, being somebody that's gone through therapy and really tried to make a genuine effort. And that's another thing. Over this, time of unemployment, I was able to go to therapy as a black man. I don't think I would be able to do that while I was working. Now I did start when I was working, but uh, you know, it gave me the time to actually follow through on some of the things that were spoken about in therapy, which were, mental health, self care, which are all things that I do. They're real, but like from my perspective, I don't put the most stock into that. I think it's something that is a reprieve, or maybe something that you do when you really get to a certain point, and it's something that you just do naturally as you go through your day to day. The more you kind of focus on that outwardly, I think it borderline starts to become selfish for some people, or self-centered at least, and that's not who I want to be. So um, while I did, take the time that I needed to kind of practice self-care, I learned how to just incorporate that more in my day-to-day and kind of understand what I needed, and that's kind of what, like I said before, that's kind of what slugging is about, understanding that, right? And not just focus on it to be lazy, or to find an excuse, but focus on it on a way that it can ultimately benefit you. And I think that it's up to me now to kind of put the proof in the pudding, as they say, with some of that stuff because, you know, I can tell people I'm grown. I've grown. You know, uh, whatever all the cliche shit is, man. I'm healed. I'm you know unbothered and all these different things from like some of the stuff that I was dealing with when I was kind of in a worse place. But like, it don't mean anything just to say it. It doesn't mean anything to you know even put pictures online or even make this video right now, right? Like, I need to actually put in work and kind of show and prove. And like I said before, in like one of my first things, right? Like, with all the self improvement that you can make, you also have to establish, credibility, and you have to establish your value, and you have to maintain your self worth outwardly. So it can't just be about what you feel and what you say and what you kind of manipulate other people into thinking. It's got to be real. You know what I mean? It's got to really be in your heart. So I think that for me, I mean, we on the journey, right? Like we working towards something, and I hope that I can kind of keep the same mentality and just kind of keep building on it. Because as much as I can say it and it mean anything, I do feel like I'm in process, right? But the main thing, I just wanted to kind of just get some of the feelings and the thoughts off my chest. I wanted to just kind of put something else out there. It's sluggish. It's a struggle still, but I'm getting more and more comfortable, right? And I hope that what I've expressed today gets translated to the viewer. Or first off, I hope somebody watches it. Just because I just want to keep going, get some feedback. I don't know, find ways to improve, but I definitely think that yeah, yeah. I won't say too much, but I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to do my best to keep at it, man, and keep at it. Not just this YouTube shit, but just in my personal life, and some of my personal relationships, as a father, as a man, as a black man, as somebody who wants to kind of change the conversation, change this stereotype, change the dynamics within certain communities and certain perceptions. You got to put the work in, man. So that's where we at right now, and hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. I know my shit's still like scatterbrain. I'm still not using no script. I'm still kind of just doing this in one take, just trying to be as raw and honest as I can be as I build. Hopefully I can put my first video together and actually upload it to what'll be the real channel, which is the Slug Nation. This, like I said before, is just kind of like a behind the scenes thing. So I definitely hope that at some point these videos resonate with somebody, and it shows my perspective and point of view, and hopefully I can get more and more personal and honest in a positive way. And I'm trying, right? Like, this is me, right? So probably not at my best, but I'm at like 60%. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna hop in the shower. Now the washing machine wants to go off, right? Bullshit. But I'm gonna hop in the shower, and when I come back, maybe I'll make another video. While I'm in there, I'll think of something to talk about, or maybe my man Kev will give me some inspiration talking to these ladies. But yeah, I mean, what else can we say, man? It was another sluggish one. 40 minutes. You ain't gonna watch it, but fuck it. We did it anyway. You know what I mean? Top Slug, Sofa King, Jay Haynes. We out.